Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Memorial Championships MPO 1 feature card. This is the first day. We're giving you a little bit of action. We had a couple of great feature cards set up, and it's going to be myself along with Gary to the O on the commentary. And thank you guys for joining us. Here we are, hole number 10. Big shout out to Gatekeeper Media for letting us recycle some of the drone previews. And hole 10 seen a number of changes throughout the years. They built, or should I say planted, all of the trees on that right side of the fairway and really changed the landscape, literally, of this hole over the years. And it's one of the few holes where you actually have to bend a shot a little bit from left to right.
I mean, you can do that, or you can go sidearm. I mean, I'm a little disappointed because I know they made it a little bit farther, but I really liked when the basket was down by the tree there. I feel like it added, it added a little bit more, but we need these guys to throw farther.
Well, I'm going to politely disagree. I didn't like it under the tree. I just felt like it sometimes brought a little bit too much luck into it as to where you were placed and if you had a good look at the basket or not. Obviously, it was a little bit more challenging too, but
sometimes I needed a little bit more luck.
We'll see who's getting lucky. We've got McBeth with the forehand, and that is parked.
Yeah, you couldn't draw that up any more perfect.
Let's see what Ezra says about that.
Gosh, man.
He's not happy. I think he says, gosh, man.
Okay, well. And it, as you were just talking about where this basket is placed, I think about seeing it throughout the years and all the really challenging and sometimes even heroic putts that have happened underneath the tree that you were just referencing. And so now that I'm looking at it out in the wide open, you almost lose yourself for a moment as to which hole and which course you're at, because it does have a very different look if you've seen coverage of past years.
I feel like in general, this whole quarter's taken some kind of shape. Like they put some more landscaping in. There's a bathroom that was been put in over the years. They really put in a lot of work over here.
Yeah, and I will say that great point that Fountain Hills community has always been so great, and the club out here. Everybody just putting in so much effort. Of course, the All-Star Weekend was hosted here just a couple weeks ago, and they're doing a lot of really big things. But if you're closer to Vista, you're going to definitely be checking out Spinners on the Green, who's one of the main co-hosts here of the event. And now we look at hole number 11. And when it's calm like it is today, I feel like this is a really straightforward shot. You've got hyzers, anhyzers. You can throw the forehand. You can really pretty much attack this any way you want. That's assuming the winds are down like they are today. Normally it's a somewhat of a stiff headwind.
Yeah, it was a little breezy. I remember sitting at Euro Pizza right off of 18 there, and right before we went out, it felt like stuff was going to blow over. It was a really big gust of wind, and I thought it was going to make for a really windy day, but it's more of a steady headwind, and it doesn't make this hole any easier. I think the real challenge on this hole is where your placement is, because those two trees that are surrounding the basket really can really change, where you, or can really affect where you're putting. You don't want to be right next to them. You don't want to have them in your line. You need just a straight on putt there.
Beth with one of the more direct shots at it. That should work. It's wide to the left for Ezra, but it's tracking back. It catches a little bit of the tree and still puts him at circle's edge.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in a very good spot there, because even if you look at Cale's putt, he's got those trees to deal with. I think from there, almost, without a little luck, I think your best bet is going to be a 3.
You have to be really careful, and sometimes just take your medicine here. If you're out of position, you don't want to turn it into something much worse. It's so easy to hit one of those trees and then it pops up and starts rolling away from you, and then you might still be blocked on an additional putt.
There you go, Ezra. Look, that says what trees?
McBeth. Oh, well. That's what you get when you warm up with yoga.
I mean, you can flex like that. Get around anything.
The remaining, 6 or 7 holes on this course, water only comes into play really on hole 18. Of course, you can find it in other places, but it really comes into play mainly on 18 from here on out. And so you see people get a little bit more aggressive. You see plenty of birdies get racked up as you come in. It's not entirely uncommon to see someone go 8 for 9 or 9 for 9 on the back half of this course. So we'll see if these guys, how they're feeling and if they can get something really going.
This is definitely for these pros, birdie or die. Back 9. You can easily give up some strokes on the front, but there's not necessarily. There's a couple Mandos, like you said. You can't outside of 18. Like it would require a really bad shot to get into the water. These guys are looking to score. Cale's definitely looking to score. That was a beauty.
Sometimes you'll see players go right up the middle. You'll see, you saw the standstill by McBeth. AB, I think, also will occasionally play out around that single tree. But
It's 190 feet and downhill. I mean, this should be a fairly easy hole for these guys. There you go, Ezra.
Just inside the circle. We'll count it.
I think we're setting up for a star birdie here.
Well, when the longest guy out makes it, I guess that's a good sign. A couple of formalities here.
Cale knows he's so close. He's not even pulling out a putter. He's just gonna.
Oh, I was thinking he was going bag on.
Ah, I thought he pulled out a driver. I thought he was actually gonna putt with that thing. Apparently, he couldn't let these other 3 guys big putt him when he's 5 feet away.
I don't think I've ever, in 15 years, seen Cale miss a putt that short. Hole 13's gotten significantly easier.
That McLaren?
You hear Cale ribbon McBeth just a little bit, asking if that's a McLaren off in the background. Whatever it is, it's definitely a tough guy. Tough guy driver.
Maybe not. Maybe just the guy who's got some money.
I just think you're really tough.
Maybe he just wants to sound tough.
Rev your engine fast.
That was a beauty from Ezra.
Yeah, and this hole, it's gotten almost, dare I say, almost too easy because of the low-hanging branch that was removed. Actually, just recently, used to hang off the right side of that tree, and you had to
you
either
can see the
commit
nub there.
Yeah, you used to either have to commit to go over it or under it. And
I was trying to think of why this hole was
It's so
looks
easy.
so different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy. You see three guys almost on top of one another there. Making quick work of it. Oh, jeez.
That was a doink.
Yeah, this actually is the second easiest hole on the course, averaging just 2.44.
That is not surprising. McBeth definitely knows. He definitely probably gave one up to the field.
Yeah,
on that one.
there. When you miss a hole out here, we'll say like a hole 8, and you don't birdie that, or a few of the other. I even think of like hole 17 or maybe hole 18. It's like where birdies are definitely possible, but you miss it, and you're like, okay, that's not so bad. But you can't miss the second easiest hole on the course. Just like you can't miss picking up some Double G Craft jerky. But we'll be giving some of that away later. Here we are, hole number 14, downhill. Superstar Kyle Klein had come through here just a few hours earlier and racked us up for the ace.
I feel like I've seen, like a couple years ago, I saw Jordan Castro ace it, and I still don't understand how it's done. Like,
It's a skip
the
shot.
Tree
Yeah,
gets in the way. And
you got to throw it low, and you play a skip shot. You got to play it out wide enough to the right. I think Steve Rico actually aced this a year or two ago as well.
Come on, sit.
So Cale's playing out wide to the right. Okay, so that'd be one way to do it.
Yes.
Got to
Almost
play the
had it.
skip shot.
Wide and high.
It's got a little stiffer angle. Oh. Hit a little bit of the tree branch?
Maybe a little bit.
Well, I feel like this is a good time to ask the question then, as we're going to watch McBeth. We'll see he hangs it out even wider. My question is, do you have a regular old ace, as in did you just throw it straight in, or have you ever had any kind of crazy ace? Now, whether that's a bounce in or a skip. Okay. I mean, who needs aces when you just make every putt? But that's what I'd like to know. Leave it in the comments, is if you've ever had any kind of a unique ace.
Do you have a unique ace?
I've got a skip ace or two. That would be about it. Crazy story about me acing and then someone acing directly behind me and stacking them up, so to speak, in the basket. But yeah, I guess that's about it. None of my aces have been too crazy.
All right.
And you're still looking, right?
Huh?
Never mind. All right, we're going to move over. First, let's check in with one of our
before.
sponsors after sale on Enterprises. Shout out to Miles over at Paragon Disc Golf and Boxer Discs. If you need to have any of your discs stored, that is one of the best places you go. And of course, you can have them customized, as you saw on there. We're looking at hole number 15, a little over 400 feet, and a couple precariously placed trees.
Yeah, this is definitely a bonus birdie if you can get it. I mean, I know all these guys can probably throw, the 426 feet and put themselves in a really good position, but it's not about how far you can throw on this one. I think it's really about where your disc lands. Like you said, there's a lot, there's 2 or 3 trees right in the way. There's like a really small window for the most part where you can even put a disc to get a birdie or have a putt at it.
Yeah, you're right. It's not so much about the distance as it is the exact spot in which you land. And that tree in the middle really shouldn't come into play for any of our big throwers like you're seeing. And roll and check up to the pin. He's inside 15.
And that's looking kind of good too. A little short, but a nice roll. Look at that.
I don't know how
You can
that's
ask
fair.
him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's fair, but
Cale's got a good look at it. He's a little far. Just need to get that a little higher.
Oh. Walking in and not quite enough. Ezra will remain at 7. AB, on the other hand, first one to double digits.
That's it. Tournament's over. First one to double digits wins.
Wouldn't that'd be a fun format?
Sit down.
I think we'd see a little more aggression on the first few holes. Maybe not. I mean, they're trying to birdie everything out here.
And there we go. These guys clean them up. A couple birdies, a couple pars.
Not too tough. Staying clean is what's important there. Big shout out to the PDGA. This is an early season PDGA A-tier event. We got a couple of Mandos that really shouldn't come into play for anyone here on hole number 16. This actually comes in as the single easiest hole on the course. We'll see if our group can contribute to those numbers or not.
It's also not surprising because all you have to do is basically throw one, I guess, right up the middle. Kind of.
Yeah, I
those
mean,
two Mandos.
a righty backhander, like all 4 of our players are, just okay.
How are there not more aces out here? I feel like we've seen at least a good 2 or 3 basket hits. You know, I know there was only 2 aces out here today, but there's so much metal hit.
Well, Beth a little bit deep. Ezra putting a good move on it. Again, this almost feels routine for these players out here.
It's almost like they're just out there doing field work, warming up.
Yeah, just pick a spot and throw to it. No big deal. Cale asking for the skip. Gonna have to settle with a park job.
That's how it's done. Again, furthest one out makes it. The rest of these guys have to make it now.
Yeah, it's kind of that's one of the rules, the unwritten rule.
Yeah. Come on, Paul.
Breaking all the rules here today.
Who does he think he is? Like a 5-time world champion?
I don't know, but I don't think those 5 rings are helping much right now. That's for sure.
Ouch, he could probably use like another ring on that basket, maybe to hold his disc in.
No, I think he needs to get closer to the center of the chains. I think that's the real problem. And if you want change when you're making a purchase, you should probably do that over at shop.lisopen.com. Big shout out to the Ledgestone Insurance event and pro shop. I know they stock a ton of different items. Make sure you check them out on Instagram, and big supporters of the coverage here. As we take a look at our second to last hole of the day, thanks to Gatekeeper, we've got hole 17, plays downhill, a very reachable shot, even though it's just shy of 500 feet. It is very reachable for all our players. And also one of the most beautiful holes, I feel like, in all of disc golf.
Oh yeah, you're looking down, especially when the fountain's going off. I mean, I have to say I'm a little disappointed. They only have one of the 3 pumps flowing all weekend. I think one time I saw it pumping 2.
You're more of a 3-pump kind of guy?
I think they only do 3 pumps during like 4th of July and I think one other time a year. But I would like to see it. I'm going to have to come down here for the summer and give me some 3-pump action.
I've seen too many pumps in my day. Used to work at a gas station. That's the joke. Or not.
Come on, get in the hole, dude.
Let's see if you can ring this up. Oh. Just deep.
I guess that's okay. Yeah.
And Cale with a very different look. He goes much lower.
Skip. He's gonna skip. He's gonna have those trees come into play. You know that you need to. If you're gonna be on any side, you want to be on the left side of those trees.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're gonna miss anywhere. Now, maybe you don't want to be that far left, so to speak, but the left is a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more open than the right side. You must be pushing, I think, the 6 o'clock hour as the fountain goes off every hour on the hour. It certainly was given it a bid. It wasn't going to be short. And thankfully, those trees won't be in his way on his comeback putt. AB, though, says, yeah, I'll pick up yet another birdie. He's got a 12-pack.
He's definitely, you got to be looking at maybe being in the lead or tied with the lead at this point.
Yeah, certainly putting a solid round together. I feel like 10 is the minimum. And hot scores can be 13, 14s, and 15s out here.
Think we'll be seeing him again this weekend?
I feel pretty comfortable saying that AB's got a little left in him, and I think this should be a good number to get him started. Thanks to DGA. So we look at hole number 18. Now this can be a heartbreaker. This could, send you home on a sour note, but hole 18, water on the left being out of bounds, and of course that sidewalk up on that right side also out of bounds. Comes in just at 400 feet. AB has looked very confident and comfortable with just about every shot he's thrown, even if he doesn't love them all.
Yeah, I know he threw that one high, but I do like the sidearm play on this. And I know there's a little bit of risk if it hits that hill, it could roll back down, but I feel like most of the disc have been sticking.
Yeah, I
this
mean,
weekend.
you
So
roll
far
over your
today.
wrist, and you also may never find inbounds, and I know that's certainly something people are trying to avoid, but when you're talking about some of our most precise forehanders in the game, and a lack of wind, that's the other huge component here.
Oh, come on, sit.
That needs to sit and not cut roll out for Cale, and it does.
I caught the, I believe he's heard Pete Ulibarri maybe call that the cabbage.
He's got all sorts of names. He wasn't talking fescue, so I'm not listening. It's fescue or nothing for me. Oh, and it just slides OB for McBeth.
He's not having might not be having the round he wanted. He's still sitting at 9 down and got a big putt to keep him there. Talk about big putt.
Dang. Hometown crowd loving it. Yeah, AB with a sweet circle 2.5 putt.
Cale from outside the circle. Definitely not letting AB big putt him here.
And he wills that one in. What a follow-up.
2 for 2 outside the circle. Can we go 3 for 3?
I doubt. Seriously? McBeth, now that's just for the par. And now still outside the circle, so no one got close.
No. 4 for 4 outside the circle. Probably these had to have been combined well over 100 feet.
Oh, yeah, more like 200.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what I'm talking about.
I felt the pressure on that.
Yeah, way to deliver. You're the last one.
Yeah.
What was the closest to, though?
Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, always be closing. That's what those guys are doing. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thanks to the Discraft staff and crew, as well as spinners on the green, everybody out here, all the camera crews and all the supporters and sponsors. This coverage was only made possible thanks to you guys. We'll see you for round 2.